Hello teacher, I'm Dilan and I'm going to present to you among Diana our finally delivery of the project that it's about the DevOps methodology. So the DevOps methodology, the idea is to merge two teams that are separated in the first instance, that is the develop team and the operation team. This is a methodology that has a set of practices, and also this has like a cultural part of philosophies, and the idea and the aim is to improve the collaboration and also the communication between the software development team and the operation team.
For the planning phase, we made sure to define all the tasks of the project and distribute them over time, so that we could deliver a version that could be tested in the course, covering both the tasks of application development, deployment, and testing. For this, we followed, for the convenience of the team, we chose the Scrum methodology for the development of application, and we made use of the Jira tool to control the tasks. Define the time to complete them, to whom they were assigned, and their prioritization. Now I will show a little bit of the tasks created in Jira. These are the finished incidents. Each task comes with a description of what has to be done in the application. Everything created in Jira was done in Spanish so that there would be a better communication with the team. To better show how we manage the dashboard, we left unfinished sprint 3. For this sprint, we left the unit and coverage test.
So for the second phase, we have used Git as version control, GitHub as our remote repository, and Slack. You're gonna see Slack in all the phases because Slack has been our primary like channel of communication in the project, because it's really specialized in coding and has a lot of integration. For example, we have used Slack integration with GitHub or with some monitoring tools that we have gonna present to you further. So Git and GitHub for the remote repository, where we have created the pull request when we want to build or we wanna merge the feature into the develop integration branch, and Slack allow us to see that. And so let me show you, for example, here when we have the pull request created. Let me show you right here. So this is the pull request, for example. So the GitHub integration with Slack allow us to notify us the changes when a pull request is created. So the pull request was created here, and then the pull request was merged, and there could be other steps between the pull request creation and the pull request merge. For example, GitHub may notify us when someone wants some changes in the pull request. For example, when someone has seen some bug in the code, and then he commented the code and GitHub in Slack allow us to notify that. In the build and test phases, we have used GitHub Actions, Jest, and Slack. So GitHub Action, it's in this phase we have used this for the pull request. We have a workflow for the pull request that test our changes that are going to be merged, and if the tests are okay and passed, then the merge can be done. And for the testing, we have used Jest because we have frameworks, JavaScript frameworks for the front and for the back. So Jest really allow us to test our JavaScript code. And Slack. Why Slack? Because Slack notify us, as I showed you before, for the changes of the pull request. So for example, when a pull request is created and all the workflow of the GitHub actions are run, then Slack notify us if that workflow or GitHub action succeed or didn't. So that really is helpful in this phase. For the release and deploy phases, we have used GitHub. GitHub, we have used this for the tag and versioning. So if you can see here, we have the version of our application, and this is for the backend, but for the frontend we have that as well. And not only that, but we have the GitHub actions for the deployment. So we have a workflow in GitHub action that allow us to deploy all the changes to the production environment. We don't have a development environment because of the money and the costs, but we have the production one that is working really well. For the deployment strategy that we have used in the project, we have used the stop and start strategy. This is because our application is not doesn't have like a really huge amount of users, and it doesn't need disponibility in the services. So basically what we do is we stop the running container that is running in the EC2, and then we run the new container from the new image of the release right here. So this is the stop and start strategy that we deployment strategy that we have used. And AWS, so we have the all our production code deployed in EC2 in AWS, and Slack. Why Slack? Because when the workflow of the deployment is created, let me show you here. When the workflow of the deployment is created, okay, then you can see here, where's that? This is the workflow of the deployment. This is one, and you can see that GitHub with the Slack notify us when the deployment succeeded or didn't. So let me show, and you can see that it shared the link of the pull of the action, and this is the action that was run, and the action succeeded, and Slack notify us whether it succeed or it doesn't. So that's for it. And finally, the operate and monitor phases. We have several technologies and tools here. One is Slack, obviously for the I'm going to show you the integration that Slack has with a monitor application that is called Better Slack. Better Slack allows to monitor our application, the health of our application, and notify us through Slack whether the application is working. And CloudWatch because of the logs. So we have two things here in CloudWatch. One is the logs. So all the members of our project through AWS IAM could log into AWS and see the logs of our application and the logs of the Nginx server for the EC2 and the logs of the statistics of the resource consumption of the EC2 through CloudWatch. And they can also and we also created an alarm for the monitor phase about the cost. So whenever the application reach a top of $10, then an email is going to be sent to us notifying that we have reached the $10 of the resources in AWS. Let me show you the Better Slack. So this is the Better Slack integration, monitoring. In here, monitoring, so you can see here that Better Slack allow us to see all the incidents that we have that our application have been through. And for example, this is the when we on purpose make the application fail, and this was the step. These were the steps. Better Slack first notify us when the application was down, and then when the application was up. So you can see here that it was automatically resolved, and that's the way that Better Slack does. And this is the Better Slack, the Uptown Better Slack application portal itself. And you can see here that we have the members. These are our project members, and we have the monitor. So all the members have access to this, and they are going to receive a notification in their emails as well. And here in Better Slack we have the health check, and we have this chart that allow us to see the what is the time response in every region. These are the regions: Europe, North America, Australia, and Asia. And all the teams have access to this portal. And I want to show you CloudWatch as well. Let me go to CloudWatch. This is the alarm that we have set up for the billing. So when the billing is up to 10 USD, so the alarm is going to be sent through email, and I'm going to be notified when that happens. And that's a step of the monitoring. And this is our developer group in the identity and access management. So these are the developers of our team, and they are in this group because we have the same permission for this group, that is the read and the read of the logs in CloudWatch. And let me show you how this looks like for a member. I'm going to log in as a member. And I'm going to log in with the identity access management account. This is our account ID, I'm going to log in as Robert Hill. Robert Hill, and all the members have their own account, and they can see the CloudWatch logs. So this is really helpful because the team is no longer in the need of waiting for the operation team to get the logs, but they can get the logs for themselves by logging into their account. These are the logs group. This is for the our backend application, and these are the logs of our backend application. You can see here all the logs of our backend application, and we have other ones as the Nginx access. And in the Nginx access, there's a really cool thing. For example, you can see that the better Slack uptime bot that monitors the health of our application, and we have other metrics as the resource consumption of our application. And that's really it, all the phases that we have implemented as a DevOps methodology. Thank you.